Today on the 50-Pound Brain, we continue with windshield replacement for Higgins. Now there's things to do with the frame before we ever even take the windshield out of the crate. And we're going to address some what I think are going to be issues so that we're not surprised when it actually comes time to put that glass in this frame. So let's address those. We're going to pull all these 10-ax fasteners out of the frame. We got to keep them in order because I don't know if they are different lengths or not, but I know that if you put the wrong ones in, there are different lengths on the car, but if you put the wrong one in, oh come on, and they're too long, if they touch the windshield, they'll crack the glass. So we want to make sure we keep track of these, where they came from, and they're not exactly a metric. I'm pretty sure these are in the Whitworth sizing. In fact, that one's smaller than this one. So in the Whitworth sizing scheme, which is a little strange, not all SAE or metric tools will fit Whitworth hardware. So we're doing the best we can with what we got. The other thing are these little tabs that hold this bottom seal that goes along the windshield to cowl seal. Getting these screws out, I don't know if you can see them. They're just little flathead screws that are kinda sheet metal thread. I don't know what exactly they are, but as far as I can tell, these stanchions are stainless steel, mildly magnetic, so they're not real steel. And I'll try and get you close. I did get one out, and they're just wicked thread that I don't want to have to try and reuse these screws, but I don't know that anybody makes a decent screw that'll screw into this. This stuff's hard and heavy. So what I may end up doing, I haven't decided yet, but I can, if I'm going to experiment, I'm going to do it on one of these old stanchions. That's a new one. These two, we got to clean these up too. This one with the plating missing. Maybe tapping these holes for regular thread. I don't know. I'm going to see what size shanks these are. I hope you can see that screw. I know I'll have to do a close-up with my phone to show you what kind of screw it is. But getting these out doesn't matter so much on that, but this one, like this one, the head is split in half, and so maybe I finish it off and just try and get it out with vice grips. I don't know. This one's still there. One came out. I think this is the one. The other one is resisting, so what I'm going to do is hit this with the heat gun. It's cold. It's probably 30 degrees in here right now, and so I'm thinking if I heat up the stanchion, it'll expand enough to loosen its grip on this screw. I'm hoping. That's the theory. I don't know if it's going to pan out. But the other thing is the curves and the seal. If you can see that. The sealing material that we have is, and I can show you, this welting, and it bends real nice, but in this curve it's not going to want to bend. As you can see, it's not going to hold the horseshoe. It's going to want to bow out. I mean, that's just what it does. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to slice this and get this into a nice fit in here and see how that all goes. I don't remember. I probably should have looked closer at the original windshield windshield glazing strip, but I think it was more of a formed piece. Or I don't think they cut it here and just did, you know, square pieces. I think it continued on through the curve, but I honestly don't remember. I guess I could go back and look at the footage, and maybe that's why Chef Tush, on the video I watched that I left a link to in the previous video, he went around the windshield with electrical tape to take up this gap instead of messing with this stuff. I don't know. But we're going to see once we get into it. So let's get these out, get this cleaned up. I guess I should probably try and get this top seal thing off. I'm not real sure though. I think I might want to leave it for a minute. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard as a rock, and I think it'll be painful to get out, just like the seal was to get out of this one, except more so because of these two wicked corners here. I don't know. So maybe I'll mess with that a little bit. But yeah, let me get these out, and we'll get this cleaned up. And we're just using Turtle Wax Chrome Polish, not a sponsor, to clean this up, because I think it's just got gunk on it. I think get down below all this gunk and the plating is still beautiful. But yeah, let's get those out. Alright, so ow, this thing is gonna have to kind of slide out this slot, I guess, all the way and make this turn. Not exactly sure. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can see that. But yeah, this slot goes all the way down. And it's a T slot, so it's going to be the same as the bottom rail was for us in the last video. So I'm not going to, like I said, this one's going to be worse because we got this turn to deal with. At least the other one was pretty much just a straight shot push. So I'll probably cut a lot of this out dealing with this, but just so you understand. Oh, ow. Oh. My hands probably won't start bleeding until it warms up. Until I go inside. Then it's going to be blood everywhere. It's going to look like a murder scene. Let's see if we can. Yeah, see, it slides okay, but it does not like making the turn, which, you know, I mean, I don't know how old this stuff is, but yeah, this is going to be good times. I got to thinking about that whole seal thing, and it would be easier to do when it's warm out, so I don't need to do it right now, so I'm not gonna, but I am going to try and get these, deal with these stanchion screws. Hope you can see that. And so we're going to try, I'm going to try my theory of heating up the stanchion. And I know this is going to be a lot of sinking off the heat to the mass of the stanchion, but we're going to try it. I'm going to do a flameless attempt first. Alright, let's see if that was enough. Yep. Oh, come on. Okay. So there's the screw, and you can see how small it is. There's the screwdriver that we pulled it out with. So I'm tempted to try and tap these holes here with a machine thread as opposed to these funky little screws. I don't know that they're even reusable, honestly. You got to get this seal out. That should be easier because it's a straight shot. That was easy. Okay, one down, one to go. I'm going to try the same process and see how we do. Vent knobs, don't break those. That's why, but I bought two just in case. I need to test our. Here's our new corner brackets for the windscreen. That's for the glove box lid. I took this rod. We were on a drive and my muffler bracket broke that supports the end of the muffler. So I took this rod is actually quite stiff, and pulled it off the glove box door and used it, fashioned it into a muffler hanger. So I needed a new one. But I am not going to put these steel screws in here because we'll be back to where we were someday. And I would suspect relatively soon because, you know, these are Chinesium screws. Now, this bigger screw, because this goes in like this, and this bottom screw in the stanchion is the one that goes into this bracket, like so. And it is tapped with Whitworth threads. So I can't just go and change these screws to some other. These are fine anyway. I'll probably put a little dab of anti-seize on them when I install them. But yeah, they're Whitworth threads because the old screws still screw into them just fine. Well, I say that. Let's make sure. Yeah. So the OEM screws go in here just fine. And here's the other reason why I couldn't get screws. They were back order. I forgot. Might have to roll over to Ace Hardware and see what we can do. The more I think about this tapping these holes idea, the less thrilled I am about it. And it's because there are some kind of threads in there. These stanchions are heavy, and I bet they're hard because I'm pretty sure they're stainless. And I'm afraid all I'm looking at is a broken tap in my near future. So we'll just avoid that whole mess and just head over to Ace Hardware and try and get some of these. So let me show you what's going on with these replacement brackets. I ordered new brass flathead screws. They're an M4 thread in here, not a Whitworth like the originals were. And so won't have a problem with the stuck screw issue, because these shouldn't corrode and rust, even if the brackets do. Now, the bad part is, when we go to the car show, we're going to get knocked off points because these are a hex head screw and not a flathead screw. So we'll just have to just take it like a man that we're going to get knocked off points. But if we ever have to change this windshield or do something else with it, we know that we can disassemble it because we have brass screws in it again. Now, the bad part is these are M4s because they're replacement angle brackets. They don't make a replacement for these original stanchion screw brackets. So those screws that hold that in are Whitworth. What's really going to make me sad is I think I lost. I just haven't found them, where I put them somewhere and I haven't remembered where I put them. The brass flathead screws that go in there to hold those in. Yay. So what might end up happening is, yeah, see, this angle bracket comes with steel Phillips head screws, which will just rust and become one piece with the bracket. So yeah, I think I'm about to be super sad because I don't know where those brass screws are. I may have to re-tap these for these, which would be okay as long as I've got the meat to do it in the bracket. I don't know why those brass screws didn't make it in here. That's interesting. So, but yeah, I could probably run an M4 tap through it if I can't find those screws. At least it'll all be the same thread on the car. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to run the tap. We're going to tap these out to an M4 point by 0.7 thread. And be done with this Whitworth stuff. So now, got even more wrong screws in it. We're going to get more points taken off at the car show. But you know what? Our windshield will be installed. And that's what we're talking about. So that's all that matters. Do this other one. We'll be good to go. So the first thing we're going to do is install these in the sides here. Wish I had a longer table. Okay. This is going to be good times getting my big sausages. Okay, so here's the next dilemma. These heads are bigger than these recesses or allowances for the screws. So that sucks. Never ends. Never ends. And I think these are the same size. Well, let me see. I may be wrong. No, they're smaller. They will, yeah, they'll go in. But I don't want to use them. Because they're steel. And steel on steel will cause us problems. I may not have any choice. Let me think about this. Alright, so here's our latest dilemma. Even the steel screws that come with those brackets don't fit in the recesses for that the original brass head screws fit in to bolt into the bracket. So what we're going to have to do, because this goes here, but yeah, these screws fit into those recesses. So what we're going to have to do is take our portable lathe and take some meat off these screw heads. Which sucks that I have to do this, but it is what it is. Even the smaller available head from McMaster Car was not going to be small enough, because I had already shopped it. I was going to buy different screws. But smallest you can get is 7.5 millimeter head diameter, and it has to be slightly smaller than that. And now I'm really sad that I can't find the two good ones that I did have, just to see what size they were. But it's okay. We're going to make these fit. You have to give them a little wiggle, but then they'll snap in. So here's our new windscreen. Very well packed. And it is flat glass. Okay. Alright, so taking our glazing strip and folding it in half. Tell you what, it is a tight fit in this frame. That is no joke. It holds its shape pretty good, so that's why I decided to fold it in half. This windshield's kind of thin compared to the frame, and that's why this stuff exists. Plus, as far as I can tell, the glass is flat laminated glass, and the frame has somewhat of a curve to it. So, I don't know if you can see that, but okay, let's see. Got the logo right there. I think this is going to go in like this. So this may not be a big enough table, honestly, to do this. We'll see. I got to figure out. Need to lube up the frame because I'm basically going to slide this on like this, and I want to lubricate this with something that isn't going to deteriorate this glazing. So I'm thinking about olive oil to put on here. See how much extra we have. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, we have to do a couple. Okay, I think I'm gonna get some tape. Tape this on up here, maybe. Maybe I'll just get clothespins while I do these cuts. All right, we're gonna start. I'm gonna be committed here. Now, let me put a couple more clothespins after the turn. I think what's gonna have to happen at the bottom corners is we're gonna have to cut it and just make a new piece. I wonder if I should move on my slack, start and end at the corner, so I have one continuous piece to go along the bottom. Maybe I should do that. I think that would be wise if that's the strategy we're going to use. I changed my mind. I'm going to attempt it as a one-piece deal. And if I am unsuccessful, well then we'll follow Chef Tush's lead and wrap it with electrical tape. Because, yeah. Okay. Okay. There's one cut. And then if we did that, there's our second cut. That doesn't look too bad. Tell you what, we'll give ourselves a little bit of room here. Okay. Yeah, I think that'll do. Okay, I need to adjust the fit down here a little bit. Do the same thing on the other side. We're going to do a similar process on the bottom corner as well. Try not to slice our finger open. There. That's better. We'll have to do the same thing, flip it over. Trim up the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to hose this down with olive oil, and that I hope will not react with our glazing stuff. It will give us a little lubricant. Here we go. So far, so good. At the end of the day, what we don't want to do is crack the glass. Oh, I see we've come out of this frame. Okay. the softest blow hammer I have. I don't like it. But I'll have to do. Can't see what I'm doing. You can't see what I'm doing. Nobody can see what I'm doing. Well, I guarantee this won't rattle if we get this in. I'm reluctant to, but I think I'm going to have to put this edge down. So I'm pretty sure we are not very far into this frame. Alright, so first attempt didn't go so well, and honestly the olive oil seemed to have either evaporated, which is highly unlikely, or it soaked into this glazing strip. So I'll tell you what we're going to use now. We're going to use Dawn. So let me get that. That'll probably form a mess, but I hope I can even keep hold of this thing. Let me set this down for a second. My hands will be clean after all this, that's for sure. I'll get the inside of this frame too. Okay, here we go. Try this again.
making it way more difficult to grip, keep a good hold of. There we go. Oh. I hope you can see that. Way better. This corner wasn't cut so great, so and I think it's gonna spring back until we get the bottom bar anyway. Okay, good. It's just soap trails. I was thinking I scratched this thing. All right. Yay. I'm probably going to be pushing my luck here. Okay, I can see glazing strip and all those holes. So I think we're in. Tighten any of them up until they're all started. Or, well, on a bracket, I mean. Okay. Take these out. Oop. Do it again, just to make sure. This is where having 3 or 4 hands would be nice, I think. But 2 will have to do. Put one screw in. slowly push it down. Oh. And this is the beauty of having a hex head. Oh, whew. I thought that was a crack. This thing's making some awful noises. Like it's cracking, but... That's interesting. I mean, the frame's together. But it's almost like this glass is not tall enough. Because our corners fit very poorly. As you can see, I mean, we are technically not really even in the corners. Wow. This corner, I mean, I think there's the bottom of the glass right there. Just barely. Yeah. Yeah, look how much I can push the seal down. Wow. Okay, figured out what I need to do, because it's just it's fitting better now. What would happen is once we went to put it on the car, the stanchions would pull it in and make this bend and take it up some. So that came out right there, so we'll just have to cut that off. Okay. All right, let's see if these tighten up more now. Trim this stuff up with a razor blade in a minute. Okie doke, now I'll just put on our bottom seal. And then we'll be ready for stanchions and all that mess. Okay, and here's just a basic T-seal. And we should probably soap this down as well. Let's see. I'm sure, especially with these screw heads sticking up. Get my phone. Okay. Now the good times with this is they did not make a slot in the top frame to match. They didn't make a, you know, a T shape at the bottom of this frame to match the T that's in the bottom rail, so that this would just slide right in. But I don't know how else you would do it, because you can't have this sticking off, run this in, because then you can't tighten these screws. I bet what they do, and we only have to do it on one side, is the brackets are on this piece first, and then they just slide it in. Yeah. So we're gonna see. We may be wrecking what progress we made. I don't know. We'll see. Just got done hammering the thing in place. Now I've got to try and pry it out. Well, like I said, oh, here we go. Now this is. Here comes the good times of brass screws. There we go. Oof. Yeah, see, it's wanting to catch. There we go. Come on. Now to the second screw head. Oh, yeah, it does stick up pretty good. Might have to try some smaller screws, or might have to turn these down better and make it a sharp edge at the countersink again. Actually take off some of the countersinks to at least screw in farther. I have to do that on the lathe. And then to do that on the lathe, I'm gonna have to make me some kind of fixture that holds these things that they thread into and sticks out past the chuck. Okay, well, yay. Okay, well, let's put these in for now. Well, you've seen what it takes to put the windshield in the frame using this glazing material. And if you're doing a TR3 windshield or this style of installation windshield, I hope this helps you. That's the point of these videos. As far as putting this seal in and finishing up putting the stanchions on and everything, that's going to be it for another day, because I'm going to try and make new screws that are more flush in the track here and get this seal in. Don't have to drive it with the seal. The seal is for rain, keeping water out. I drove it with the cracked windshield with this seal gone, and it was kind of nice having air coming in under the frame, even though it was mixed with some engine compartment hot air. It was still nice to have a little bit of air through there. So it's not required. It would be nice, but not required. And it's not going to happen this weekend. So you'll see it in a future video installed on the car with or without this seal, and I'll give the backstory on that. But the point of this was, yeah, get this thing in the frame and see how painful it is, and help whoever might be doing a Triumph windshield to see just how painful this is. And it wasn't too bad. In all honesty, it wasn't too bad. So till next time, we'll see what we're doing next on Old Higgins. Thanks for watching.